Should I hold this while I'm talking about this? I should. Yeah. What is this? This is not RSO. This is not a tincture. This is not a dab. This is not a vape. And I'll bet you have no clue what this is, even if you are a so-called cannabis expert. Now, some people call these syringes, drippers, droppers, applicators. There's a million different names for these things. But what we call this here is a money-saving device. Here at Modern Herb Co., we like to call them drippers. Some places might call them syringes, but we think it's kind of intense to ask your buddy to go back to your house and try your new syringe. So we've stuck with the term drippers. So let's break down what is in here, what it is, what you can do with it, and why you're going to want to get one of these. And hint, after this video, you are going to want to get one of these. All right, we're going to do any angle changes. We're good to just move through? Yep. Okay, cool. A dripper is exactly what it looks like. It's a tube filled with your favorite oil that can be dosed out to the exact needs of each individual. You can put a little bit on top of a bowl. You could put the whole thing into a vape mod of your own choice. You can make edibles with it. There's a whole host of applications. Just depends on what you want to do with it. But when we get down to the brass tacks of it, it's just a cold, hard fact that this is easily the most versatile way to purchase your favorite cannabis oils. The Modern Herb Co. Dripper. Stuff that's in this thing. All right, you see what's in here? This glorious stuff right here is the same thing that powers this. This is our Modern Herb Co. Liquid Diamonds. Yes, I caught that. We're gonna edit that out. Okay, so I think some of you by now are probably saying, okay, we get it. We understand what a dripper is, but why do I want that thing? And the answer is, well, there's a lot of reasons, and I'm gonna go over each and every one of them right now with you. I think the number one reason someone's gonna wanna buy our dripper is because they wanna use their own hardware. While we think that you're crazy for that a little bit, we understand that some people really wanna customize their experience, and this allows you to do that. The best part about that is that because you're not buying a vape device and you have your own already, some of that savings is passed along to you because obviously it's just coming in a dripper. Another great way to use the dripper is to combine it with some flour. I personally like to just put a little bit on top of my bowl. Other people will actually combine it with ground up material. It's really up to you. I think another really great way to use these, and this is probably actually, I would say outside of the vape, using your own vape, I'd say this is probably my number one way of using it is infusing it into your own joints. And the way that you can do that is either put some on the outside and then roll it in, some material, some flour, or the way I like to do it is I like to create a little reservoir on the tip of my joints and just drip a tiny little drip in there. Which kind of leads to the final point here, which is that on the side here, you can see that there are graduated markings that kind of show you exactly how much you're able to dose at a time. So it really enables you to, no matter what you're using it for, get a very precise dosage. And that's one of the reasons that we really think you're going to love the dripper as well. I think it's important to cover how the dripper differs from the other things on the market. And I think, first we can talk about in the ways that it doesn't differ, in the ways that it's the same. And that's going to start with the oil, right? The same quality and consistency and efficacy that you've come to expect from Modern Herb Co. Liquid Diamonds vape carts, you will be able to find that same exact oil here in the dripper. Well, let's talk about where the dripper is a winner and a clear favorite over some of the other options. I think when we talk about dabbing, it's really nice because you can get a very specific amount to dab. So dosing control, I guess, is the overall concept here, right? Your dose control on a dripper is going to be a lot better than, if you're just pulling a random amount of dab out, or if you're just taking a random hit on the vape, you can kind of really control how much you're intaking. So that's the first one. Picture this. You're about to go to a concert, right? And you look and you're like, man, I don't have a whole lot left in my vape cart. With a traditional vape cart, you'd have to bust out a whole nother one or a new pod, whatever else. If you're using your own hardware and filling it up yourself, you can just top off with the dripper. So that's a really nice aspect, and I think is another way the dripper kind of wins versus some of the other delivery devices. And then obviously echoing that same kind of point there, it offers a different experience than a kind of a pre-filled, preset vape. This allows you flexibility in hardware. So, you may want to have a smaller piece of hardware with you on like a short hike versus you're going on vacation. You want to have a big piece of hardware with you and use the entire dripper. You're in control of that decision. So I think the final place where the dripper wins, you guys, is a place we all feel a little bit heavy right now. a pocketbook, it's going to save you dough. If you've got a vape that you're not having to rebuy, or hardware you're having to rebuy, and you're just refilling with the drippers, you're going to find that after 5-10 of these, you've saved quite a bit and probably have purchased a new one on the savings that you've made. So we've covered all the wonderful, amazing things that this dripper can do. And I think it's also important to talk about some of the cons, so to speak, that it has. I think the first and clear thing is that there's a little more time and effort here. But one of the things I like about that is that presents the opportunity for ritual, right? Now your morning bowl that you smoke, you bust your dripper out, you get the little dab on there. Just kind of add some value to your day. So even in the place where it maybe, isn't as mobile, right? Because you don't want to put that in your pocket. Well, just put it in the vape and then put the vape in your pocket. So frankly, even the things that are supposedly negative about this are really not that negative. It's an opportunity. It's just a rainbow and then it's raining liquid diamonds. It's raining, man.